Well, hola, friends, this is Calarios! Floyd Mayweather Jr., his next bout has been announced. Later this year, he's going to collide with the booming superstar, Sal Alvarez. And with that, talks of Mayweather's legacy and greatness, well, it's really taking a surge on the internet here. These days, greatness is not created within a vacuum. It's rather a reflection of the surrounding society and culture. No matter how well deserved it is or isn't. So is Mayweather an all-time great? And if he is, how great? Mayweather's many things, including a pound-for-pound kingpin, 5-division world champion, and a defensive genius. And historically, where exactly does he stand? So as mentioned, Floyd Mayweather's a 5-division world champion. Sounds formidable. We're living in an era of 17 different weight divisions, some separated by a meager 3 pounds. Now, how would Mayweather's championships look during the time of the original 8 weight classes? His 5 titles at 130, 135, 140, 147, 154. Would be trimmed down to just 2, 135, 147. Now, compare this to Sugar Ray Robinson, who, at one point or another, was the best lightweight at 135, welterweight 147, and middleweight 160 in the world. Or Henry Armstrong, who held 3 universally recognized titles, 126, 135, 147, at the same time. Now, but Mayweather has still earned supremacy from the super featherweight all the way up to super welterweight. That's an incredible stretch of 24 pounds. At a level of difficulty that cannot be denied, all the while looking just as brilliant as anyone on film. So, you witness this for yourself. Mayweather's defensive prowess is stunning, wondrous, a beautiful art in motion. He's slick, elusive, and you couldn't hit him in the kisser, with a handful of rice. So, and while Mayweather tends to back up in straight lines, and his combinations are seldom seen, he still possesses one of the most complete skill sets since Ray Leonard. But there's, Roy Jones Jr., a man of other worldly talent, the likes of whom can only be found in fairy tales and folk stories. Jones is the greatest talent ever captured on film, and no one compares. Now, so once again, Mayweather is impressive, but not as impressive as some of his predecessors. It's like punchline to a quote joke. The boxing gods, they're compromising and against him. So good but not good enough. They seem to say. But well, anyway, unfortunately, it gets worse from here. There's a quality of opposition and depth. Of defeated opponents meant nothing to defining a boxer's legacy. And they were only subjected to the eye test. Mayweather just might rank among the top 10 or 20 greatest boxers of all time. But such is not the case, and this is the root of the thoughtless overvalue of Mayweather's legacy. And so, we have all heard it before. Mayweather and his fans nevertheless forget. He's undefeated. But there's so much more to greatness than just a perfect record. It's all boiled down. What matters, most is who you beat, not just how you and your pay-per-view numbers looked, and who you actually got the better of inside the ring. So who of merit, has Mayweather bettered, and how does his resume stack up against the great boxers of yesteryear? So for the most part, this era has belonged to Floyd Mayweather. List of quality victories he has picked up from 130 pounds, 154 pounds. He's unmatched. Cleaning out the super featherweight division, defeating the likes of Angel, Manfredi, Jesus Chavez, Gennaro Hernandez, and Diego Corrales. From 135 pounds and up. Mayweather beat Jose Luis Castillo 2 times. DeMarcus Corley, Arturo Gatti, Zabjuda, Carlos Baldemir, Oscar De La Hoya, Ricky Hatton, Juan Manuel Marquez, Shane Mosley, Miguel Cotto, Robert Guerrero. It is a solid list, but it doesn't stand up against the resumes of boxing's greatest, such as Harry Greb, a man they called the Pittsburgh Windmill. Warrior of mythical proportions. He defeated so many great fighters the list seems like science fiction, and that's something you can't ignore. Weighing only about 158 to 168 pounds, Greb hacked apart 3 separate divisions almost simultaneously for over a decade. So Over the course of Greb's unparalleled career, he defeated Hall of Famers Mickey Walker, Gene Toney, Tommy Gibbons 2 times, Mike Gibbons, Kid Norfolk, Tommy Loughran 4 times, Maxie Rosenblum, Jack Dillon 2 times, Alan Levinsky 6 times, Jim Slattery, Billy Misk, Leo Hook, light heavyweight middleweight champions Mike Metzig 2 times, George Chip 2 times, Al McCoy 2 times, Johnny Wilson 3 times, and premier heavyweights Bill Brennan 4 times, Jack Renault, Charlie Weinert, Gunboat Smith 2 times, Homer Smith, Martin Burke, Willie Meehan 2 times, and Bob Roper 6 times. So that's a real mouthful. And again, the name is perspective of this, and she can be a real nasty old hag at times. But as you surely notice, boxers just don't fight this often. So why hold it against Mayweather? I'm not holding it against him. What I'm doing is giving Greb and others the respect they deserve for their busy fight schedules. So just because Mayweather doesn't fight as often as boxers of the past, doesn't make what they accomplish any less worthy. So what does all this mean for Mayweather, though? Simply, he's nowhere close to being the greatest boxer of all time, which shouldn't even be in question. But today's internet is chock full of, journalists, and you'd be surprised by what sorts of ideas, they could flirt with. So, how great is Floyd Mayweather? Floyd Mayweather has solidified himself as the greatest fighter in the past 10 years. Where does he rank all time? If you want exact number, that's hard to give to you, but I can provide a rough estimate. We don't know exactly where Mayweather ranks, but we do know who he can't be ranked above. He can't be ranked above the absolute world beaters like Sam Langford, Harry Greb, Henry Armstrong, Sugar Ray Robinson, Bob Fitzsimmons, Joe Louis, Ezra Charles, Benny Leonard, Joe Gans, Muhammad Ali, and Willie Pep. Not above the weight climbers like Mickey Walker, Roberto Duran, Barney Ross, Billy Gunn, and Jimmy McLaren either. Now, certainly can't be ranked above the tacticians Kid Gavilan, Charlie Burley, Pernell Whitaker, Ray Leonard, Gene Toney, Ader Joffrey, George Dixon, Tommy Gibbons, Michael Spinks, Alexis Arguello, Emilia Griffith, and Tommy Loughran. Not above the knockout machines like Terry McGovern, Archie Moore, Jimmy Wild, Sandy Sadler. Not above giant killers Barbados Joe Walcott, and Stanley Ketchel. Mayweather's about here, along with the likes of Marvin Hagler, Jack Britton, Ike Williams, Carlos Monzon, just to name a few. Maybe lower, but not any higher. So is Mayweather an all-time great or a product of his generation? A little bit of both, but let's say definitely not neither, huh?